Okay, so I want to make this video here because this is a memory that's going to fade from me eventually, and it's going to become something I can just see it now where years from now I'm going, did that really happen? What was I thought it happened, or that's so unlikely, and wow, I should have made a journal about that because now I'm not even sure I believe that it actually happened. Was it a false memory? So and especially since I didn't go up and shake his hand. Anyway, so I was driving down the main drag on the peninsula, and I stopped by a Burger King near my hometown. A Burger King that I've known since I was a child, for years and years, and I pulled in there at the last minute. I was like, I had to urinate, so I was just gonna park and run in and urinate. And I'm sitting there and I'm rubbing my eyes, and I look over, and there's a gentleman sitting in an SUV, a Lexus SUV, and he's looking at me square in the face, and I look at him, and then I look away, and I think I might have looked back at him. I'm not sure how quickly it came to me, but I realized I'm a big fan of the show Breaking Bad. I'm in love with that show. I think it's just the best series I've ever encountered. It's just some of the most fascinating writing, and the acting is just phenomenal. And one of the characters, Mike, played by Jonathan Banks. I'm kind of just going off the top of my head here. Jonathan Banks plays Mike, the hitman, the thug. He's a phenomenal actor, and I'm a huge fan. I think everyone's seen him in all kinds of bit performances. If you grew up in the '80s, you remember him in various films, 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop. Just a bit. He was a bit player, and he had some more major roles after that. But I really have become familiar with him through Breaking Bad. So I pull into the Burger King parking lot, and there he was. I was like, "Is that Jonathan? Is that Jonathan Banks?" And I'm looking at him, and I couldn't remember his name at first. And I'm looking at him, and then I'm looking at his car. Oh, Lexus. Now you know what kind of car Jonathan Banks drives. Um, it was a Lexus SUV, and I look over at him, and I'm disbelieving that it's him. I'm just thinking, what are the chances that he? And this has happened before, but I mean, it's weird how this seems to have occurred to me in my past, where coincidences like this. I go, what are the chances that this would be him? I'm looking at him going, that man looks like the gangster from Breaking Bad. That looks like him. That looks like him. And he went inside, and I think I stayed in my car and finished up my whatever I was doing in my car, and I went inside, and he was standing in line, and all I wanted to do was take a leak and get out of there. And I was 75% sure that it couldn't be him. Like, how could it be him? This is just a weird coincidence. Like, the odds that he would be at Burger King, the Burger King that I have known throughout my childhood, and the odds that I would pull into the parking lot when he has shown up at Burger King, it just didn't seem very likely. And I go to the bathroom, I come back out, I look at him again, and I still can't disbelieve that it's him. I can't. Nothing indicates that. Oh no, it's obviously not him. And I'm going, wow. And he's just wearing this T-shirt that, I mean, God, it was just a. I thought it had some kind of logo on it. I mean, it could have said Bacardi rum or something. It was like, I thought it had some kind of icon or logo, but I don't think it was anything commercial necessarily. As I remember, it was like a plain blue shirt or something. He was wearing shorts. And I get back into my car and I dial, after sitting there for a little while thinking, I dial my friend, my makeup artist friend, and he comes back out. Well, actually, he had come back out to his car. At some point, he came. My friend answered the phone. At some point, my friend answered the phone. I said, "There's a gentleman getting into his car right now. God, he looks just like this actor." And my friend didn't really pay attention to it, or he probably thought I was fantasizing, or just putting him on or something. And I didn't really go into detail, but because I don't know if he knows Breaking Bad, or I don't know if he would know. I don't think he was watching the show, and I just, the description, it just seemed like something that I didn't want to go into right there with him. But as I said, there's a gentleman getting into his car right now. He looked over at, he just kind of paused and looked over at me. And then he sat in his seat eating his meal for, God, it was probably under 2 minutes before I kept looking over at him, and he made eye contact with me. And I was getting more and more certain that it was Jonathan Banks. And then I got out of my car because finally I just wanted to say something to him. And he immediately started up his engine and left because, he doesn't want to be bothered. I can completely understand. And I kind of thought, oh, well, it's not him. And I just freaked some guy out, but I guess thinking it in fact was him. And so I get online, and I don't learn very much. I learn that a little bit about his career as an actor, and I try to check into any sightings. Has he been seen around the Bay Area? And I only come across a recent interview where he's talking about. He's asked what's the strangest car ride he's ever had, and he told the story about him and his friend picking up a hitchhiker, and he said, we were coming back from the Sierras. So I thought, oh, California, Northern California connection to Jonathan Banks. Okay, there that's that's something. And then he told this very simple story about this guy. They picked up this hitchhiker, and the guy started cussing out himself. Not very different from an experience I had in Berkeley with a friend of mine. Trying to find the Greek Theater one night, and picking up a hitchhiker who proceeded to he swore up and down before he got in the car that he could tell us what the Greek Theater was, and he was a young kid. And I didn't feel threatened at all. And he got in the car. He's like, "No, I don't think I know where that is." And then he was kind of stone quiet, just really kind of, like, "Oh, I guess we're hanging out now. I don't know." I asked this kid, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I don't know." I remember that. So anyway, I saw Jonathan Banks at Burger King in my hometown during this same period of time where I'm loving Breaking Bad. I mean, it's even more surreal than seeing Michael C. Hall, who I admire for Dexter. I mean, that'd be really something. But in a way, I'm absorbing season 4 of Breaking Bad right now. So to have just witnessed a fucking phenomenal performance by Mr. Banks, and this phenomenal monologue he has in one of the episodes here in season 4. Just beautiful acting, exquisite, and he's just so talented. Right along there with what's his face, the lead actor in Breaking Bad, whose name I'm regrettably forgetting right now, and don't know why. Well, yeah. So I want to make a video about this because I want to remember that, in fact, you did. You know, when you came home, you were doing some research and you looked at Jonathan Banks, and you're more certain now that it was him than ever before, and that's pretty awesome. More adjacent to this video.